His well-honed detective instinct was trying to tell him something. That you're about to die? This feeling wasn't one that Hoshi could easily explain. He has a strong sense that something was suspicious, without any real reasoning behind it. Yeah, nothing. No reason at all, just some people late at night where they have no business being. That's not normally suspicious, but he had a suspicious feeling. Yeah. Oishi trusted he could judge Albert's character with that sense.
ウグイス2よりウグイス1。車両が1台停車。2人降りました。おそらく刑事です。そちらへ接近中、1分未満で接触します。
Contact with who? It was pitch black, yet they could see the two newcomers clearly. They were probably using a night vision scope.
了解。全隊員注意せよ。ウグイス2から5はグリーンライトを待て。
235?
ウグイス7から8は前後 100m のクリアを確認せよ。
What about 1 and 6?
待機。ウグイス4、5。聞こえたな。
If they exist.
ウグイス4、了解。
ウグイス5、了解。
ウグイス7、了解。
ウグイス8、了解。ウグイスより本部。ウグイスより本部。電話設備工作中にトラブル。
So, for modifying the phone facility, I just had a thought of Steins Gate where they cut phone lines before attacking. Also, like I know jamming's like a common thing to do before an attack. Because then you sow disorder and chaos. Secondly, they can't request backup or send information back. So it doubly weakens like the local forces in that case. But yeah, so they're going to cut Rika's phone lines, or are they going to cut all the phone lines temporarily or something?
私服警官2名の職質と思われる。発砲許可を申請。
本部了解。許可を待て。
By the time Moshi and Kumagai reached the phone facility, they were being watched from all directions. There were 2 pairs of binoculars, and 2 sniper rifles pointing at them. Well, 2 directions isn't exactly all directions now, is it? The mountain dog operatives worked in 2-man units, a sniper and a spotter, to secure the means of retreat. So I mean, unless the sniper and spotter are separated for some reason, then that would only be 2 directions, not all directions. I know I'm being picky. They'd all taken different positions. Oh, so they have taken different positions? Or the 2 groups had taken different positions, so it could shoot Oishi no matter where he tried to run. They were all in camouflage suits, hiding deep in the woods. Oishi, of course, had no chance of spotting them. The snipers have their rifles trained on the detectives' heads. Oishi and Kumagai had no idea that they were on the verge of losing their very lives. The sniper rifles had their safeties on, but a flick of their thumbs would release them. In other words, they were ready to shoot if given the order. The detectives found the fenced-in machinery right behind the parked van. There was a sign there saying that it was the property of the Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation, and another sign warning people to keep away.
どうもこんにちは。
すみません。作業中ですんで入らないでもらえますかね。
So she's walking in there, feeling confident and not knowing the whole thing where he's got snipers on him. There were 4 men working there. were wearing blue overalls. They had a toolbox open and were working on some wires.
どうも仕事中お邪魔してすみません。
Wasn't me. I swear, I was an electrical doing wires. Dear.
警察のものでございます。いえね、不思議なところに不思議な時間に車が止まっていたもので、どうしちゃったのかなと思いまして。
そうですか。お仕事ご苦労様です。うちらももうちょっとで終わりますんで。
おたくら、どちらさんです？電電の人じゃないでしょう。
Right, so Nippon Telegraph thingy? Telegraph and telephone.
ああ、失礼しました。おこのぎ電気設備工事と申します。
Okinogi? Young chief. Wait. What was the name of the gardeners? Wasn't it like Okinogi Gardeners? Are they seriously that lazy with their naming scheme and template?
あれすいません。名刺を切らしちゃってるみたいです。
おこのぎ電気設備工事さんって会社どちらです？
はい。沖宮になりますけど。
For highly trained professionals, you seem a bit, caught off guard there.
会社の電話番号と住所を教えてください。
なんでそんなこと聞きますか？
Haven't they been preparing this for a long time as well? Surely they should know their cover stories by now. Maybe they didn't think that they would need them, but still. Prepare your cover stories, honestly.
電話番号忘れちゃいました？
Ah, dear. Oh, she looked at them with a piercing glare. Their response was very suspicious. Usually, the vehicle of an electric company is full of various types of electrical equipment and repair tools. However, the van parked there had nothing inside, and it looked just like an ordinary car. Also, a company vehicle usually has the name of the company painted on it. This one is just a plain van with no markings on it. Or what if they've got multiple vans? I was just thinking, and one of them is near Rika's place, and that's the Gardener's one. Anyway, none of that was the reason that Oishi found them suspicious, though. It was their attitude that bothered him. They didn't sound nor look like stereotypical contractors. They were obviously not electricians. It was far too late in the day, and there were far too many of them. They were also clearly suspicious of Oishi. However, that was all he could tell just by looking around. He found them suspicious, but had no idea what they were up to. One of the men told Oishi the phone number. Kamagaya wrote down the number so he could ask the station to call and confirm it was real.
私らそんな怪しいもんじゃありませんって。
Oh, said every suspicious person ever. Like the fact that you're saying we're not doing anything suspicious just draws more suspicion to you, because no non-suspicious person is going to say that they're not suspicious, because it wouldn't have even crossed their mind. Aren't they supposed to be professionals?
あんたら怪しすぎですって。一体何者です？委託業者なら作業写真用に作業前作業後とか書かれた黒板とかあったりするでしょう。そういうのもないですし、だいたいあんたたちの雰囲気が違いすぎます。
おまわりさん、そんな意地悪言われちゃかなわないです。勘弁してください。私ら早く作業を終えて帰らなきゃならないんです。
Just wondering, since like it's about time for Rika to die, that's when all their plans are coming about anyway, and it shouldn't matter too much after their plans come to fruition. Will they kill him? Because they don't need to worry about keeping things. I guess that's why they didn't worry too much about their cover stories, because they didn't feel the need to be too secret anymore. But it's still lazy. In fact, it almost seemed like they were just getting started. So yeah, if Oishi said that it was going to be less than an hour until they met, and I was going to say assuming that that was before they arrived here. Of course it's before they arrived here. It's not going to take them an hour from getting to Hinmazawa to getting up to Rika's place. So that means the attack's probably going to happen in less than an hour. Because you want to like cut the phones just before you go in. Assuming you go in. And not just attack from the outside.
もう化けの皮は剥がれてんだよ兄ちゃん。
Though I guess attacking from the outside will leave more signs and be harder to hide.
電気屋に化けるときはまずバイトして勉強してからにしな。
Oishi raised his voice threateningly. The members of Mountain Dogs gradually started to look more and more annoyed. Oishi looked over their expressions and gave them a big, wide grin. However, Oishi had no idea. He thought he could handle these suspicious people with no issues. Of course, in reality, they were horrific demons that he had no chance against. Meanwhile, Kumagai was heading back to the car. He was intending to contact the police department. He was going to call the station using the radio. Then, in turn, the police department would contact the NTT. That way, it would become clear who they were really dealing with.
本部よりウグイス1発砲許可ウグイス7クリアウグイス8クリア
The sniper was still aiming at Kumagai's head as he headed back towards their car. The safety, that last line protecting Kumagai's life, was disengaged. The sniper put his finger on the trigger, and he was wearing a glove with the fingertips cut out. The finger poking through the hole was very rough and merciless. For as soon as he slightly moved that finger, he would take someone's life.
ウグイス1より狙撃犯オールグリーン
That was quite a flash, that surprised me a bit. Kumagai heard a quiet noise. Oh, so subsonic then? I guess they wouldn't want to have to deal with covering the sound of supersonic around. Because that would alert everyone around them. Does that make sense? It was similar to the sound of a jump rope that he used to use as a whip when he was little. That was the last thought Kumagai had in this world. That was quite abrupt. Kumagai collapsed onto the gravel. That was it. He didn't even twitch. As they missed his head, Oishi was laying on his back on the concrete after getting shot in the chest. His lungs were filled with blood, which began to pour out of his mouth. Oishi only realized that he'd been shot when the world began to blur before his eyes. As his world keeled over, he saw a man in a work uniform, with everything been gone at him. But it doesn't matter anymore as he started to drown in his own blood.
沖宮 TS より大石はどうぞ。
So that's them, I guess. That was abrupt. Huh.
先ほどのナンバーが判明しました。大石はどうぞ。大石応答願います。
Are we going to learn about the license plate number?
あれ電波悪いのかな。
I guess not.
大石応答願い。
出ませんね。大石さんが車両紹介？誰の車だよ。
Well, maybe we do.
村人の車ですね。至って平凡な。
Right, sure.
何者だよ。大石さんが聞いてくるからにはただものじゃないんだろ。突起事項欄は完全に空欄ですね。S 号指定もなし、減点もなしだし。
パッシングでもされて腹が立ったんじゃないの？あの人根に持つとなかなか忘れないタイプなんだよ。
So that's going to slow down how long it takes before they get, before it gets noticed that they're missing.
ウグイスより本部。2名を射殺。作業を再開。
本部了解。警官の車両処理は慎重に行われたし。サンサ、ウグイスは警官2名を排除。作業を再開。
おやすみなさい、大石さん。
Did we see her with a, like, jacket before? Can't quite remember.
私の尻尾をつかめて、もう一息だと思ったでしょうに。残念ね。
So yeah, this seems a bit too complex and big to just be in the van. And yeah, what she said really looked in the van, there wasn't anything special there, so I guess this is deeper into the forest? And something else?
コーヒーをもらえるかしら。
どうぞ。しかし厄介な展開になってきましたね。R 宅には依然私服警官数名とそれから友人数名がいるそうです。 R は自分が今夜殺されることに感づいているとしか思えません。
And she's just gonna think, how interesting.
作戦が漏れています。やはり決行は延期すべきでは。
明日の朝には死体が見つかっていないといけないのよ。
So they need her corpse for something.
お偉いさんたちの日程上、その日が一番都合がいいって話なんだから。
So it seems that they don't need her dead so much as they need her corpse specifically for something. Whatever that something is.
作戦は決行します。
The crucial part of this final mission was the death of Rika and what came after that. They couldn't just kill her whenever they wanted. Doing it at the right time was vital.
山犬による過剰な警備にかえって過敏に反応したのでしょうか。
Why is it time dependent though? What conditions are required? Because it doesn't seem like it happens on the same day each time. So why? Hmm.
違うわね。漏洩じゃない。
She did catch on though.
予言よ、あれは。富武の死と、そして私ですら知り得なかった偽装死体の状態まで知っていた。
Something which even she didn't know.
あの子は女王なのよ。南沢の頂上存在の頂点に立つ女王で、 巫女で降臨したるお社様の血脈に連なる正当な末裔。神を欺くことなどできない。知られるのは宿命だったのよ。フルでリカをあっさり暗殺などできるわけがなかった。いいわよ、リカちゃん。あなたと私、どちらがお社様の伝説を受け継ぐにふさわしいか勝負しようじゃない。
What? Inherit the legend of Aisha? Is she like trying to make herself a god or something?
あなたの死はお社様のたたりの最後を飾り、この村の伝説のフィナーレを飾る。
Because I think she said earlier that she wants to be like the executor of the curse. Hmm.
私の作り上げた物語はその時こそ本当のたたりになるの。
The real curse? It was now past 8 p.m. Mion ordered some noodles for us, her treat. He also ordered some food for the 4 officers, and we all ate together. We were supposed to call it a night as soon as we talked to Oshi, but he's still not here. However, we all took it easy, assuming that they'd get here sooner or later. It's getting late. Once you get to Hinamazawa, there aren't many places to get something to eat. I'm sure they're having a quick dinner before coming here. However, the 4 officers seem anxious. They all had families, but Oishi didn't tell them how late they would have to be out here. Oh dear. They probably hope they all wish they had a bit of us. They're hoping that Oishi will bring other officers to relieve them so they can go home. They called the station, but all they said was that Oishi was on his way, and we should wait, because he'll be here soon.
遅いね、大石さん。渋滞にでも巻き込まれたんだよ。ちょうど帰宅ラッシュの時間帯にぶつかっただろうからね。
I guess.
おまわりさんもお昼からずっといてくれてるんですのよね。交代が来てあげないとかわいそうですわね。
そうだな。何時に終わるのかもわからない仕事って疲れるもんな。
警察の人には休んでもらって、私たちが夜景にでも立ちます？
Just thinking about it, with the gardeners and all that. The previous streets. So we initially appeared to be working with like Neon and Rana in the first chapter. Were they? Because I was just thinking, like, because the most dangerous time would obviously be at night, and so that's when most officers should be there. But they're not exactly safe during the day either, even if she does go to school, because last week the gardeners did show up at the school. But then that led me to thinking, why were they interested in Rena? Like, I mean, sure, she's got a high infection thingy, but what was their reasoning? Was it early enough that they were technically working with Rika to try to quote-unquote save her? Were they trying to lead her into doing something? Or were they trying to get rid of the element of randomness? Maybe that will be revealed to us, maybe it won't. We'll see, I guess.
サトコのトラップワークで不審者の接近を阻むとか。
I'm sure she already has the trap set up.
甘いですわね、シオンさん。ここは私とリカの家なんでしてよ。常に二重三重のトラップが張り巡らせてありますわ。そうなんだ。神社で遊ぶときは注意しないとね。
Yeah, just thinking, remember in like the second chapter and the fifth chapter, when Keiichi like wanders into the forest when they're looking for someone, mayor, I think. Why didn't he walk into any traps then? Anyway. With our stomachs full, the mood of the house had returned to a light-hearted one. True, we shouldn't be so relaxed, but knowing that Oishi would be here shortly made us feel relieved. But he's so late. He said he'd be here in an hour. Leon mentioned that he might have gotten stuck in the traffic, but I'm sure that Oishi was considering that. That's why he told me it would take him about an hour. It had been an hour since the time Oishi was supposed to get here. I want to believe that he's getting something on the way, but I'm starting to get concerned. Oishi still hadn't shown up. It's almost 11 o'clock. The officers are completely exhausted. They'd even started to smoke cigarettes outside. My friends are becoming tired too, so this is Rika's point of view now. Yeah, great way to get yourself spotted and killed. Sadako's yawning. It's way past our bedtime. It's hard to say. Everyone else is getting tired and sleepy. We've been spending our time watching TV and reading manga. I can feel my fear succumbing to sleepiness. The day is almost over. I'm going to survive the day I'm supposed to die. Does that mean I escape my deadly fate? No. I'll have to fight endlessly from tomorrow on. I was going to discuss that with Oishi. Since he's not here, I don't know what to do from this point on. Suddenly, the phone rang, breaking the silence.
大石さんか
No. But who?
もしもし、フルでなのです。
Yeah, and seriously, how long does it take for them to get ready to cut the wires? Reroute them or something? It's been hours. What? Like, I get setting up early, but that seems a bit too early to be setting up to cut the wires if you're then going to have to wait there for several hours before cutting them. And then before your attack. Like, sure, there's problems if they don't cut it in time at all. But there's also problems if they're there, but not cutting the wires. There's like problems from them just being there. And the longer they're there, more likely that someone like Oishi will come along.
夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。沖宮署の小宮山と申します。すみません。うちの大石ですが、そちらにおりますか？
いいえ、僕たちもずっと待っているところなのです。
そうですか。わかりました。申し訳ございませんが、そちらに行っている警官に今から応援が行くので、引き継いだら祈祷するようお伝えいただけますか。
So which officers will be the sacrificial lambs? The old guard or the new guard?
わかりましたです。それで、大石はどこに？
Well, obviously they don't know, because that's what they were asking you.
夕方頃、直接そっちへ行くと連絡があったきりだったので、てっきりそちらへお邪魔してるものと思っていました。大石と交代で警官たちが戻ってくることになってたのですが、いつまでも戻らないのでどうなっているのかと思いまして。
That's what I'd like to know. But arguing with a man on the phone wouldn't accomplish anything. I hung up and gave the message to the officers downstairs. It looked like everyone else already heard our exchange on the phone.
どうしたんでございましょうね。遅いにも程がありましたよ。
何か重要な仕事があったりして道草でも食ってるとか？
Is murder?
それなら電話すると思うな。
You know, it really caught him off guard, He never saw it coming.
これから行くって電話したんだよ。これだけ遅くなったら絶対に電話してくれると思うな。
He's really struggling. Yeah, because he never saw it coming. He's really struggling to find out who did it.
まさか東京って連中に襲われたとかか？
Yes, but not for the reasons you're thinking.
まさかと言いたいところですが、リカちゃまの言うような連中が相手なら絶対そんなわけないとも言い切れないのが怖いところです。多分休養が入ったんだよ。
Yeah, sure.
それで電話をするのを忘れてるんだと思う。向こうも大の大人、それも天下の大石だよ。そうそう簡単には消されないって。
To be fair, all they need is a high-powered sniper rifle. Maybe that's why Hanyu doesn't believe there's any hope. I mean, it makes sense.
来るなら早く来てほしいですわね。はあ。
Well said. Sadako yawned. Everyone laughs, but some of them are trying not to yawn themselves, including me. Yay.